Hey, I'm going to talk to you really quick about patterns and how to store them and how I do it. I have these great bins that are about 7 by either 10 to 12. It all depends. I like the 10 because they fit on the shelf where I put them really neatly. If you buy patterns at a store, they fit in here perfect. It's wonderful. Ones that I haven't cut or done anything to stay in here. Yes, that's a lot of future projects to do that I may never get to, but you know, shh, let's not tell anybody. So after I decide, okay, yes, this is the project I'm gonna do, I then iron out my pattern with the tissue paper. You iron on, you can do any setting really as long as you don't have steam. Steam and tissue paper don't really mesh very well, so don't do that. I always iron my patterns before I do it though, because even the little bit of wrinkle in a pattern can alter the way that a garment fits. So I like to do that a lot. So I put them into bags afterwards. This is a Ziploc bag. I found that Ziploc bags don't really work very well because sometimes, especially when you're dealing with patterns that you get as PDFs, this is a PDF pattern. What I do is I print out the very first page of a PDF pattern and I will put it into a sleeve. And these are the bags I really love. They're a gallon storage bag. They're a twist tie because they're open and then they flop down for exactly the size I need. I can get all the air out of them so that they can press down really small. And in each one of these bags, I have pattern pieces for that pattern in the size. If I have multiple sizes in a bag, I have a bag for each one of those sizes. And then on that, I write the size that it is. I write, this one I wrote the pattern that it was and the size. And it looks backwards because I'm in selfie mode, of course, but that's the way that works. And in here I have all the unaltered pattern pieces from the tissue paper, and then I trace with medical table paper. It comes on a roll. You know how it is. You go into a doctor's office, you sit on the table, they have the medical paper there. It's really like awkward and you're like constantly trying to flatten it out underneath of your butt, you know. So I use this to trace because it works perfect. I can see everything right through it. I can trace out the pattern and it works super, super, super well. For PDF patterns, I said that, you know, I only do the first page of the PDF pattern, or, you know, they give you a PDF. It has all the instructions and then it has the pattern pieces down below. I send any that have an AO format on it, I send out to a company called PDF Plotting. They put it on architect-like paper. They plot it out. It's wonderful. It's one whole piece. I don't have to worry about it. It just kind of works for me. Then I don't have to cut them out, tape them together, wonder, are they going to line up? Are they not going to line up? So often I've printed out a whole pattern. You know, some patterns are about 100 pages, and so you print out 100 pages and then you find out that your printer, somewhere in between your computer and the printer, it's decided to, yes, and that's Mary Claire, you know that. it's decided to change the format on you. So instead of being the correct format, now it's skewed, or it decided to print out your stuff in portrait mode when it should have been in landscape. It's so aggravating that I've just decided that my time is important. I don't have time to sit there and cut it all out and make sure that it's all right. So I send it off to PDF plotting. They come back in these rolls, and then I store them in this big pot. It's an old time, I don't even know what you call it. Let's see. Yes, you get to see my messy room. It's one of these. Old pickling barrel is what I want to call it. Let's make some sauerkraut. It's a number 5. But then after I lay them out, I'm about to start a new pattern. So I have one laid out here on my table. This is the Girls Tanacross by New Horizon. I love New Horizon's patterns, and I'm about to hack it up, and we're gonna add a hood to it. Right now it's just like a cowl neck, so we're gonna add some hood and a little bit more room in the arms. I found for the adults I like more room, so gonna hack it up with the girls, because then that's much less fabric that I have to worry about than the women's. So after I get my size patterns and stuff, so the same size bin that I use for these is what I use for these. So after I open these up, see, it fits perfect in here. And then these fold down, and I can store them underneath. You don't even know that all the patterns are in here, and that I have a few of them. Don't tell anybody. But that's how I do patterns. So it works super, super well. They hide away. I don't have to look at them all the time and remind myself of all the mini projects that I should be doing, because I see squirrels, and squirrels are shiny and pretty, and you know, they're just fun to play with, right? So get busy. Let's get busy together, and let's get some of these patterns made up. I'm going to be doing this Tanacross from beginning to end, so you'll really start to see exactly how I copy them and get them into these other bags. So we will see you soon. And I would say let's hug a tree. I kind of am, right? By only, oh, that's bad. Yeah. It's recycled paper. And hopefully it'll make many, many garments. And so I can kind of consider that good, right? Let's go hug a tree. Quick. Let's do it.